174 pounds, representing Cherokee Boxing Academy in Toronto. Put your hands together once again for Arshia Fereiduni. To my left, fighting out of the red corner, weighing 174 pounds, representing West Windsor and MTC Windsor. Put your hands together once again for Garret Gagnier. This will be great, 2-minute rounds.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our last fight before our intermission here at WinCity Fight Night, Lee versus Thompson. I'm Drake DeMoran. I'm joined by Kara Rowe here on commentary for this one. It's going to be a good fight, Kara.
Yeah, I mean,
look at these guys.
It's interesting. We get early in the card when you have the less experience. It's like a intense battle, and then more experience. You're seeing the setup of Blues coming out here, just like they did earlier from Cherokee
the head movement.
Boxing Club. They came out full force, 100 miles an hour. And he's doing you know what the problem is though with Blue? He's doing too much work to evade punches that aren't coming at him. So it's like a little bit tiring to get into that strategy.
Absolutely.
But I think Red's just trying to figure it out. He's making Red get on his feet, on his bicycle, because he doesn't know what's coming at him. Red just needs to jab and move and hook around as Blue tries to come in.
Both fighters got to be aware there's lots of time in this one.
Yeah, I mean,
preserve that energy.
You know, Blue just throwing kind of a little bit wild shots, but that's just he's got to settle in. You know, you get the nerves hit you too. He's evading some of the shots now that Red's throwing, but now that he's coming up with punches, he's having an opportunity to land a little bit more. Because all that head movement when you're out of range isn't going to help. Yeah, you see that head movement? Yeah, when you start coming up with punches, he's going to land some shots that Red can't see, because when the shot's coming from down low, it's really hard to see those shots. Red just needs to get on his stick. He's just got to get on his jab high, jab low, and set it up. Yeah, there's that jab. There it is. That's all he's got to do is just stay at that range. Is this stylistically tiring for both of them? You know, there's so much movement.
There's a lot going on here very early in this fight. But yeah, at the same time, not too much. There's a big left hand.
Yeah, and I mean, because it's so tricky to see when it comes from downstairs like that. When it comes from almost the ring level, you don't see it coming back up. Oh, good job. Red coming back with some clean shots. The referee basically trying to settle Blue down, because he just, you know, it's like street fight mentality of like you just swing hard. And
school fight.
And that's just, you know, trying to get new out of it.
Well, this is all a learning experience for every fighter in every fight so far tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, Red took that round. I just don't see Boxing Ontario awarding the style for Blue. You know, they try to train you through scoring and through education of what is successful in amateur boxing. It's totally different. Like a lot of people think, you know, it's UFC mentality, it's pro mentality where it's like just heavy damage, and it's not. It's volume. It's who's taking the center of the ring, and
that's what I'm saying. Like even if it's a short fight, no matter what division we're at, we got to treat this thing as a marathon. We got a long way to go. It's not just right to the end of the line, right? Like we got to work our way there.
Yeah.
And implement our strategy that you've been working on for months or years in the gym.
So we'll see if Blue can kind of clean things up a little bit. You know, he's started coming out really fast and trying to throw big bombs. And again, you're going to see Red get hit with big shots only because of where the trajectory is coming from Blue, because he goes on these really deep slips.
Could be wild.
Blue has to be careful, though, because you cannot fold in half and take the entire target away, right? Like, you can bend at your knees, but you can't completely fold in half defensively.
And that's exactly what we were talking about before, too, is controlling this game. I mean, you don't want to make any mistake that's going to cost you this match.
So impressive, too. Red has done a good job of weathering some of these storms from Blue, and then gone back, you know, to his strategy of, like, jab and set it up, jab and set it up.
Oh, there it is.
That's an 8 count for sure. So this is what happens when you have someone like Blue throwing wild. Your face is so exposed that you're going to hit with a shot that's bigger than you want it to be, because your hands can't possibly be up if you're loading up your punches, right?
That's exactly what they were looking for, too, and he got it. You heard that one all the way down at the Charo Club here from from the Serbian center.
Red's trying to go for another knockout. He can't. He's got to just go back to what he knows. Set it up, use the jab.
Exactly. Stick to the game plan. Because you know that wasn't the game plan. The game plan wasn't to come out for a knockout.
But he got that big shot because he was setting everything up. You know,
exactly.
It wasn't, if you try to force a knockout or an 8 count, it just doesn't happen.
Go back to the game plan and try to run it again.
Yeah, Red's got to keep his hands up too. I know it gets tiring, but because those shots are going to see that wild. The scary thing for Blue is his face is completely exposed when he's loading up for those shots.
And just before that big right hand for Red, I mean, he was very calm and collective in this intense match. Now you can see it starting to get to him. He saw his opportunity to go for the win here. The referees,
checking out.
yeah. Check out Blue. I think the headgear is a little out of place, and
this is where Red has to just come back with his jab, set everything up. Don't try and look for another. You already got an 8 count in that round. You're not going to get 3 in this round, you know, to get a stoppage. So just set everything up. It's going to come.
But he thinks he's just that close to it, right? So
for Red, though, like, see, these clean shots are landing because Blue doesn't have his defense at his face at all. And that's something he's just going to have to work on, is throwing from his face and replace to the face. This for Red is he's going to learn so much from this fight. Like
absolutely.
You know, just fighting someone when you don't see those shots coming is very difficult. And you're fighting somebody that's not really coming in with boxing strategy. You can't really counter. You can't do the things that you really typically want to be able to doing because the shots are wild. And for me, Blue's got to work on coming from the face, throw from the face and replace to the face, just so that nobody can get those clean shots off on you. He's got to come back to his face and protect himself. Red's done a really good job of incorporating some body shots too. There was a few times he jabbed to the body and then came on the hook to the head, and it really, when you work that inside-outside offense, I mean, it keeps the person guessing where the punch is coming next. You know what I mean? You always want to go outside, inside, or inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, downstairs, upstairs.
Yeah.
I just don't see any feinting. Like, I think Red, if he started to feint, you're going to see Blue throw like a wild shot and you'll see him clean. And so he can start incorporating that moving forward.
We're seeing a lot more variety in these fights going on, and I think we're gonna see it more and more, as we were talking about before as well. So these two right back at it, and again, like you said, they got to just stick to their game plans and continue to implement that for the rest of this fight.
Yeah, it's such a good point because it's amateur boxing. Like, you don't have 12 3-minute rounds to knock somebody out, so just focus on like winning the round. The knockout will come if that's what.
If it comes.
Yeah, it's headgear. It's 12-ounce gloves. Like, this isn't 8-ounce gloves and no
focus
headgear.
on winning those 3 rounds. It's only 3 rounds. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot.
Blue doing a better job of protecting his face, and again, that's a learning experience too. He's got to pull his punches back faster to his face, and then he'll have a lot more defense. See how he jabbed and pulled it down to his hip? He's got to jab and pull it back to his face. Doing a good job of evading shots, but he's got to answer back. And essentially, I'm sure his coaches have told him, see how the hand is away from the face, these clean shots. If he brought his hands back up, they wouldn't be so clean and obvious where the ref's going to step in. The ref warning, you have to punch with, obviously, the knuckles of the glove.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go the inside palm style, the slaps.
Yeah.
The heart that Blue is showing is pretty tremendous, too. Red's going to be tired after this. It's a lot of work to run like that. Like, it's not a running, but it's like using that all of the ring.
It's the chase. That's what I like to call it. Chase
around. Oh, beautiful body shot. That's where you got to finish upstairs right away. Yeah.
Got him.
And this is what we talked about earlier. You can't be folded in half where there's no target for your opponent, right? So the bending has to come from the knees and not at your waist. Blue. Okay, the ref's got to stop this now.
Left himself wide open for that one.
And that's just it. This type of...
He's going to count it out.
This type of style is really hard to fight. If you're Red facing Blue, it's hard to fight Blue because the stuff is coming from who knows where, but you're so open for big shots, right? I don't know if I would have kept him fighting.
And it comes down to the wire, though, anyway. The bell is rung. Time had just run. I think so.
I was so enthralled, I couldn't.
Yeah.